you're getting a $3 million property for $1.7 million. This is a very, very good deal. And then on top of that, you have all of the extra land to add stuff on. If you added, another, 100 units and some parking, I mean, the world is your oyster, honestly, in this area. And then here's KO. Looks exactly the same, except for it's fenced in. So his is not fenced in, right? So eventually, maybe you don't want to do that, get it all fenced in. But he never fenced it in. This is Watertown Patriot, looking kind of rough there, right? And this is like something I would buy right here, is this one. And then here's KO again, looking good. KO, what they did is they bought this facility and then they came in, they put gravel down, they cleaned it up, power washed it. And that's what they did. And it's exactly what we do. Here's a Watertown. This is all brick, concrete brick. This is a nice facility. Here's another Watertown, used store of Watertown. They didn't put gravel down. They're just like, oh, looks good. Looks fine to me. And then here's the storehouse, looking good, nice. And they have really nice facilities, in this area. Okay. And then we have the unit mix and the competition, right? Look at all the different size unit mixes he has, right? So he's got a lot of unit mixes. He's got a lot of sizes, you can see, from small to big. And also another thing that he told me too is his facility is one of those where you could switch the size. Like if you see that one size is being needed, you could go and you could change the walls and move the walls around and stuff like this. Okay. And let me see here. And then here's his current rate. So you could see that he's at 79 cents a square foot, right? If he was full, this is where he would be. Okay, with all his unit rates. And he's also right at what the competition is at, right? So he's at the same price. You can see competition here as where the where the competitors are at. So, you can't go in and raise rates. I mean, maybe later down the road, you could increase the rate by $5 or $10 or something like that, because you always want to be increasing your rates anyways, like 5% every 6 to 9, every 9, maybe 9 months or something like this. And it was funny too, because we were talking yesterday in our mastermind, and the speaker that spoke, he says that he always raises rates in the winter. Winter's the best time to raise rates. Why is the winter the best time to raise rates? Put it into the chat, what you think, okay? So, and then let me see here. Okay, so here's the numbers. Let me see. It's a 1.7. Right, 1.7 is where we ran the numbers at a 7 cap. He's making 165,000 for the storage, and he has numbers. He has tax returns to prove this, right? Yes, exactly, Rachel. Nobody wants to move in the winter. Yeah, Brenda says weather, exactly. People don't want to move in the winter. The best time to raise rates is in the winter time, right? Now I'm in Florida, right? So it doesn't get that cold. I don't know if that works in Florida. But definitely in New York, that works for sure, right? Nobody wants to be moving their stuff in the middle of winter. So raise the rates. And if you need to raise the rates, after you buy this thing, by $20 or whatever, then just do it in the winter time. Okay. All right. So you can see he's making $166,000 or $167,000 for the storage. I remember he's 40% full. 40% vacant. 40%, because all that space is all those 12 units. So that whole building is pretty much all his stuff. So he's going to get all that cleaned out, and then you'll be able to raise those rates. So that is how we ran the number. So you can see here that we put 77 cents a square foot, right? Because that's what the competition is at. Now remember his income is $181,000 or $282,000, and he has the tax return showing that. Where does the other money come from, right? Where does the $167,000? The $160,000 is for storage, but the rest of the money is coming from the parking. Remember, he has the parking there as well too. So he always has boats and RVs. Remember, he's right next to that lake, and so people are parking their boats and RVs. He says it's easy money. It's uncovered. He says all that space out there, you could just figure out some way to do some parking as well too. He's like, you could do more parking. So But so it's a total of $183,000. So you can see we ran the numbers at a 7 cap is what we ran the numbers at, which is basically it's a good cap rate for right now. Okay. And it's a secondary market cap rate. That's a very nice facility. And so we came up with 1.7 as, the price of the facility based on the numbers that he gave us. And he accepted that offer at 1.7, right? So now you can see that it's 40% vacant. So what that means is that you're going to have to, the way you're going to make the money on the property as is right now is by getting all his stuff out and then leasing all that up first. So phase 1 is to get it from 40% to 8%, right? So you can see we're doing current to potential, right? So you can see he should be making around $250,000 a year. If he actually got all his crap out, he'd be making $250,000 a year. All right. So the valuation at $250,000 comes out to 2.9, almost $3 million just for the property. So you're getting a you're getting a $3 million property for $1.7 million. That's a very, very good deal. And then on top of that, you have all of the extra land to add stuff on. If you added, another, 100 units and some parking, I mean, the world is your oyster, honestly, in this area. Okay. And so this, we did not run the numbers adding units and things like that, because I just wanted to show everybody that, just by getting the occupancy, to where it should be, the value of this property is very high. And Eric says, I'm from the West Coast where it's warm and doesn't snow at all. How much plowing will be needed during the winter? Does the boots on the ground do the clearing, or is this something? We talked about plowing. He plows everything himself. He said last year he had to plow between 20 and 25 times the facility. And it doesn't cost him anything because he does it himself, right? But he said it's probably going to cost around $5,000 for the winter season to do all the plowing that is needed. Okay. But then I also compared that plowing to all the grass. If you actually just had the whole thing lawn, you'd have to mow it anyways, right? So, but we put the expenses in. You could see here's property maintenance, $25,000, right? $7,400 for staffing, $10,000, $11,000 for the software and merchant fees, and $3,000 a year for marketing. Okay, so all those expenses are here. Okay, and then also property taxes, utilities, and insurance.
Hey everybody, this is Stacy here. Thank you so much for watching this video. I am here to teach you how to get your foot into this industry. You're watching this video because you want to learn how to get started in self-storage investing, or maybe you own facilities and you want to be a better manager, a better owner. That is what I do, is I teach people how to do that. So please like this video and also subscribe, hit the subscribe button, because that's what YouTube wants. So in order for me to get out the word on how to get started in this industry, I really need your help. Again, I appreciate you listening to me, and I'm here to help you on this journey, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.